Oh, hi. Uh, This is Ram Posha. I'm a cloud architect at Oracle. I just want to record a short video on how to use Oracle GoldenGate cloud service. It's a native cloud native service. GoldenGate has been one of the most popular replication solutions in the industry from Oracle for the last, or what, 15 years or so. It has been available in the cloud for the last 3 or 4 years in the cloud. So today I just want to show you a quick demo on how to use this cloud native service uh, uh, for production workloads. Okay, the goal is to just give a quick jump start. I mean, by watching this, I don't expect that you would become an expert, but it will give a good start, and you can build on top of that. So here we go. So first thing is I'm going to share this presentation. You can find the description of this in the video description. All right, I'll link to this presentation in the video description. Second one is I tend to speak a little slow, but you can watch it maybe 1.25 or 1.5x speed. So this is the agenda. I'm just going to provide what all I'm going to be covering, just a demo overview. Then I'm going to do a live demo that will include provisioning and configuration of OCI GoldenGate service. All right. And then how do you prepare the source database? How do you prepare the target database before you actually use the GoldenGate solution? For example, you have to from this in the source database, you have to run the database in the archive log mode, right? You have to generate the redo, you have to archive it. So all that. And there are also other requirements. You need to create GoldenGate users, grant required privileges, and so on. Uh, then, uh, then after that, we are going to configure the GoldenGate service and run it. And then we are going to validate the replication. Okay, so we have source data. How do we replicate to the target? And obviously, the data in the target has to match with the source. So simple tests you can do. And I'll provide some links to uh, documents and other resources. All right, let's get started. So this is how the demo is going to look like. So imagine that I got a 19C database. Here I'm showing Exadata. It doesn't have to be Exadata. It could be any uh, any platform running 19C database. And this is the target database, which is 26AI. This is the latest version of Oracle database. And both are actually RAG databases. The fact that they are running on Exadata means that they are RAG databases. And using this GoldenGate, we want to replicate data from this sales container database. It has got a pluggable database called sales, and the target is another container database. And this container database, the pluggable database is CRM. Here, this is sales. Just my notation is that when you see the C at the end, that's a container. And here also container database, C stands for container. That's the notation I follow. So this is the goal. We want to replicate data from this source database to this pluggable database to this pluggable database. And for that, what I do is in OCI, I create a bastion. It's just a VM to which I log in. And from there, I do all the configuration steps. This is my laptop. From here, I'm going to connect to this bastion, and it is created in a VCN, and these services also created in VCNs. And obviously, they need to be peered. So there's a remote peering for which you need dynamic routing gateway. So there's a lot of networking that goes on. But the bottom line is you need to make sure that this bastion is able to reach your targets, whether it be it your Oracle database or the GoldenGate service. I mean, all that, I'm not going to show you because that's already done. That's could be a whole another presentation, which I'm not going to focus on today. All right. So that's what it is. And what I do is I log into this bastion. From here, I create secure SSH tunnel to this database and another tunnel to this database. And also, I also create a SSH tunnel, HTTPS connection to this GoldenGate. I cannot log into OCI GoldenGate service. That's not allowed because it's a service, right? You don't have access to the underlying infrastructure. So that's at a very high level it looks like. And then the step one is installing the GoldenGate service. Step two is configuring the container database, right? Basically enabling archive log mode, those kind of things. Third thing is configuring the target pluggable database. So there is a user called GG admin. That user is going to basically get the changes from the GoldenGate and apply the changes to the target schema. So that GG admin that runs in this pluggable database is a privileged user. So we need to configure that. Number four, we need to configure this database, right? And five, the same thing. And six is, let me show you all this. So one is provisioning the GoldenGate service. Two is configuring 19C database. Three is configuring the pluggable database, right? So that's here, the GG admin I was talking about. Fourth is provision a demo schema. Yeah, that's what I was missing here. So here, I'm going to be creating a schema called Scott with a couple of tables, employee and department table. And and I'm also going to populate that schema. This is number four. Number five is I'm going to create a schema, a Scott schema in the target pluggable database, but that is going to be an empty schema. There is no data. I mean, that's the whole idea. GoldenGate is going to load the schema, basically replicate and load it, right? And number six, configure and run the OCI GoldenGate service. So you need to create a replicate, all right? And then number seven is configure and run. This is for the number six is the initial load. We need to configure replicate and extract and replicate for initial load. All right, so there are two things. Number six is essentially for the initial load. So you need to create an initial load replicate. Then after that, you need to create another replicate for change data capture. So at time t0, let's say you do the initial load, and after that, whatever changes happen, you need to replicate them to the target. So that's the step number seven. All right. And here, this is the command for SSHing to this bastion. That's what I do. And by the way, what you see here, this is the IP address. When you provision the GoldenGate service, you get an IP address, private IP. You just make a note of that. I'm going to give you the scripts for that. This is the IP address for the first node of this RAG database. Again, as I said, it doesn't have to be Exadata. It could be any RAG database. For that matter, it could be a single instance database also. And then this is the IP address of the database node on the target side. And so here you can see I'm SSHing to this one. This is then same thing. This for this one, I'm also creating basically a tunnel, right? This is local port is 22, target port is this, and so on. So there's a tunnel for this, there's a tunnel for this, and there is also, I'm doing a tunnel for the GoldenGate service. So I'm mapping this local port 443 to the 443 of this one. And obviously on this VCS, you need to open those ports. So that it's assumed that you already took care of that. So then you say minus I, you provide the private key. This bastion has the public key, and so does these compute nodes, right? And these compute nodes also have to have my public key. Only then I can log into those servers with this command. All right, and that's pretty much it. So this is that. Then window 2 is basically logging into this node. I do that to create a service. I'll just show you what it is. And then these are the references. So let me start the actual demo. So I already logged into OCI. So the thing is, you just say golden to go to directly to the service. And then here you have, you can take a quick tour and all that. But what you do is typically you start with the deployment. Basically, it's kind of provisioning. So you pick the compartment in which you want to provision that service. So I already provisioned this service actually. So let me start this while I speak. So that's started. So to provision the service, what you do is create. So you can say demo, and I'm going to say, yeah, this is the compartment I want to create in. You can pick whatever available domain. Then you can also have a choice to pick whatever fault domain you want. And this is for data replication? Yes. GoldenGate comes with many other capabilities, data transformation and stream analytics. I'm not covering that. And the technology, the GoldenGate deployment is for a particular technology. So, for example, a GoldenGate for non-Oracle. It could be SQL Server, DB2, things like that. So there are many technologies that we support here, right? So I'm just going to be using Oracle database, and then here I'm not going to be doing for the production. This is for just testing. So if you are going to deploy for production, obviously pick this. But here I just going to pick development, and then it allocates CPUs and all that. Then configure deployment here on what the GoldenGate service requires a private subnet, right? You need to provide a subnet, so you provide that, all right? And then what you do is, again, there are licensing options. Just, I will just bring your own license. If you don't have the licenses, obviously you need to use license included. Then what is the instance name? You can give OCIGG demo, something like that. And how do you authenticate to the GoldenGate service? So instead, I can use identity and access management, but just to make it simple, you can say GoldenGate credentials. So I would say OCIGG admin. That could be the administrator's user's name. And for the password, I can use the Oracle Vault, create a password secret and all that. But what I would do is I will just use the GoldenGate, and here actually let me just here what I'm going to do is this is the compartment. So actually I'm not going to be using the vault. Actually, I should have unchecked this. So the password is going to be whatever password you want to enter. I'm just going to enter the password, then advanced, go here. Do you want to provide public access? You know, then maintenance, all this, right? I'm not going to choose any of this, and I'll just say create. If you want to save the stack as Terraform, you can do that, but just say create. Now, I cannot guarantee this is going to go through because there are certain quota that we have. Well, it's going through. So while that's going on, I'm going to see whether my other service started. It takes a few seconds. It takes about 3 or 4 minutes to start. So let me pause the recording. There we go. Actually, while this is getting started, in the meanwhile, what you need to do is you need to create connections to the source and the target databases. So that's this one. So you basically say create a connection, and here you can say, let's say I already have a couple of connections, but just so you understand, connection to source, I'll just make it like that. Then in the golden compartment, put the compartment, and what is the type of connection. So here, because it's Oracle, because I'm using Oracle database, now it could be autonomous database, it could be AI Oracle database. I mean, it's now the branding is Oracle AI database. It could be Exadata. So this is a kind of generic. So you just pick that, and then you pick the database. This is a compartment. Actually, we have a database in this compartment, and actually, now I need to enter the database information. So basically, I'm going to be that select the database is applicable for, if you picked Exadata, for example, here, then it will tell you what is the cluster and all that. But just to make it simple, I said Oracle AI database and enter the database information, right? The connect string. So connect string is this. So I'm going to share this spreadsheet. Here, what you do is all the yellow fields are kind of input fields. So you can enter the fields for even this one is also this is your cider block. But anyhow, so all these yellow fields you populate. When you do that, what happens is all the scripts that are there in the subsequent tabs, they're all automatically created for you using the data that you entered here. So think of these as parameters, right? So this is where my private key file is located. This is my private IP address of the bastion. This is the rack node 1, 1521 is the listener port, and so on. So now these are the connect strings, right? This is for my source database. How do I get the connect strings? So for example, if I go to my databases, this is, let me just quickly show you where you can get this. For example, so here my XCS, that's where my database is located. So you can see this is 19C. And this is the cluster in which I got all these databases. And one of my database is sales. See that I got this. And now if you want to know the connect string for this, so here, database connection, you go here, see this one, you basically copy this and paste it here in the spreadsheet. Similarly, you copy this and paste it here. All right, so in this field. This is going to be used in the subsequent tabs. So I just want to show you, this is generated. So if you want to know if this SQL connect string is correct, and you want to do a simple SQL test, so you can go to your bastion. So here is my bastion. Okay, here comes my bastion. So let me log into my bastion. For example, this is my connect string. Sorry, connecting to bastion. So, all right. Okay. So now my bastion is not up. So I need to go here, compute. I did not start the instances, so I need to start my bastion. So very quickly, this is in a different compartment. This is my compartment. So I need to start this. What I will do is I'll just pause the recording so that you don't have to waste your time. All right, so my bastion started, so I can log into my bastions very quickly. So there I logged into my bastion, right? Now, if you want to know whether your connect string, right? This is where it was, the input. So this, you can just check if this connect string that you copied from your rack database, container database is correct or not. You can just copy this and paste it here. So you can see it is connected. So basically, the idea is you enter these fields, the yellow fields, you enter values in these yellow fields, and they will be used as parameters. So this is kind of this is generated actually. You can see concatenate, all this from here. All right. Similarly, for the target database, I do all that, and I do that for the source in the target database. All right, you can see this here. And there are two types of connect strings. One is the long one is the short one. You can copy and paste it here. So OCI GoldenGate deployment, I showed you how to do that. So when we go back to deployment, probably it's still going on. It takes minutes, about 15 minutes or so. So GoldenGate. So that is still being created. So if you go to my deployment, right, this started. So this is the IP address. So that's what I noted down here. See that? And these are the ingress IPs. Basically, this is from here, the traffic will be going to the databases. So on the database side, on the VCNs, we need to allow traffic coming from these ports. That's the idea. All right. So just when you are configuring the network, you need to make sure that your database allows traffic coming from these outside private IPs, right? So that's the thing. Then we did the SSH to the bastion. This is to the rack node, right? This is to the rack node 1 source database. So if you want to see this working or not, I need to open another window actually. So this is the SSH tunnel. So let me paste it here. So that is going to the actual rack database node. So I'm not now. Then the next thing is this is for this target database. This one, if you want to create the service, right? So this is generated for you. So I don't like to use the default services. I like to create a service on the database side. So this is a script for doing that. So I want to create a service called sales.tac. The TAC stands for Transparent Application Continuity. That's a kind of notation I use. So if you want to create this service, you can just copy and paste this, right? So I just, again, these are all generated for you automatically. So just paste it here. So it's a repeatable thing. You can drop, right? So this is removing, then adding the service and checking whether the service is up and running. So that's what this one is showing you, all right? And so let's see. Okay, so that, see, now it is created and it's also running on these two instances. So they're all repeatable scripts, by the way. The next thing is the target also, the target CRM database. Now, all these things I am getting from the input tab where you enter the data. This is the unique name for the database. for that, right? So that you see it's coming from input tab. B35 is the field, so you can see it here. Let's see now configure OCI GoldenGate, right? So we need to create the connections, right? So for creating the connections, so these are the connections. Before creating the connections, you need to create the secrets. So that's what I captured here. So for example, here you go to connections. If you want to create a connection, so you say C1, name, Golden Gate, and the compartment, and the connection is to the to this AI database, right? I think we were doing that. And then enter the database information. This is the connect string, right? So you can go and so this one, so in the input, let's say we want to create a connection to the source database, for example, this one. So you can take this connect string, right, and put it here. And then database username, right? We are going to connect to the database user, for example, let's say GG admin. I'm just giving you, this is a container actually. This is a container. So it will be C on. And so these are secrets. There are already the secrets available. See this one. I already created RPC pound GG admin. So that secret was created. So to create the secrets, you can click on this create password secret, and then it will take you to another tab where you enter the secret name, description, all that. So here I captured those details actually for myself. So you can do the same thing. So when you're creating the secrets, you enter the secret name, compartment, vault, all that, just for your records. When you're creating your and what is the secret password, all that. All right. So do that. Now, let's cancel it out. Here is the more important thing, right? There is no, I'm not using any wallet. You can just say none. Now click on the advanced one. This is very important. So go to the network. See this one? This is a shared endpoint or dedicated endpoint. So when you're accessing the database connection, right, it's going to create a endpoint for secure access. So whether you want to use shared or a dedicated, you can decide. I use shared. Now here is another interesting one. Session mode. When you're using the scan, simple, just use a redirect. That's what you need to be doing. If you are not using scan, if you are using the local listener, where you enter the virtual IP and the service name and all that, then you go for the direct. Otherwise, if you are using, actually it provides a description here. If you are using fully qualified scan and all that, scan, then you use this, all right? Otherwise, use the direct. So then you say create, then it's going to create for you. All right. So I already created that, those connections. So I already have two connections, one for the sales C, the container database. All right. C pound point. That is, it is connecting to the root because that's where we are going to be extracting the changes. And this one is connecting to the target PDB. This is the target PDB connection. So you need to create the connection. Then after that, you go to the deployments. Then you see this is over there. By the way, that thing is already created, that demo service. I'm not going to be using that for my demo, so maybe I can just terminate that. I don't want that. So here, go to here, assign connections. Now, after creating the deployments, you have to assign the connections. So here I already assigned. So when you say assign, it's going to ask you in which compartment and what are the connections. You pick the connection and then it will add it to the deployment. Now, before you go to the next one, what you do is make sure that the connection is working. The GoldenGate deployment has to should be able to connect to the source and the target databases. That's very important, obviously. So you just say test connection. So that is done. Similarly, this is to the target. I'm sorry, this is the source, this is the target, right? CLC is the source and CRM is the target. So let's test the connection. So that is done. All right. So that covers how to provision GoldenGate and how to configure. After provisioning the GoldenGate, you need to create connections and you need to assign those connections to the GoldenGate deployment. All right. Now, after that, for creating the extract and replicate, you need to launch the console. Now, since GoldenGate is created in a private subnet, I cannot access it from here. I need to use the tunnels, SSH, the secure tunnel. So you remember we created a tunnel for 443, and so and that was there. So what you do is you go and click on this. So because it's a local port is 443, you can just say HTTPS colon local host. Oops. Local host. All right. So this is the GoldenGate. Now, while you're creating the GoldenGate service, you remember you entered the username password. That's what this one is. That. And after that, so that's what you see here. This is the, so now you can see that you need to you will see these connections because you already, when you added the connections to the GoldenGate service, they are appearing here. You see that? Now, first thing that you do is go to the source database, and to the source database, you need to add the tran data, for the schema. So here you say sales is the pluggable database. Within that, Scott is the schema. All right. I did not create that schema. No, I already have the schema. So, but let me follow this flow. Actually, whatever I show you here. So create TNS names.aura. In the bastion, so what you do is I log into the bastion, I just create a TNS names.aura file. So you can see I'm just writing this. Again, this is all generated based on the input that you provided. So just copy. You can review all this later. Okay, so I'm just writing these things to this. And so let me just copy this and paste it into the. So that's what at TNS names.aura. Say more. You can see this is the root container of the source database. This is the pluggable database service, source database, source pluggable database. Okay, this is the target pluggable database service. So this is the, you can see how I created this. So that's what I'm doing or done. Now, if you want to test the connections, you just copy this. Oops, not that. Let's see over here. This just shows you that you're connecting to the database. And then this is for the other PDB. This is to the PDB of the sales database. And then you can test the target also. So you should be able to connect to the source container database, source pluggable database, and also the target pluggable database. In the target, we don't deal with the container database. We deal with only the pluggable database. So that's what this one is. So I could connect. Then the next thing is configure the source pluggable database, source CDB and the pluggable database. So here, what I'm doing is I'm connecting to the container database. I'm enabling the GoldenGate replication. I'm allocating the streams pool size, force alter database force enable, all that I'm doing. Okay, so you can basically copy this entire script and just run it. All right. I'm also creating, actually, after this, I'm also creating a user called GG admin at the pluggable database level. So I'm setting the session to PDB, and within that PDB, I'm creating a table space. By the way, this was already created. It may throw an error. You can ignore that. And then I'm dropping the user just to repeat it. So let me just go here, right? Copy this entire thing and paste it here. So basically, it sets all those parameters. This table space is already created. And now it is creating the user, granting the permissions. By the way, let me just remove this window. I don't need it. All right. So this is, after this is done, we'll go to the next tab. Now we are going to configure the target PDB, right? So same way, copy this entire script. Now here, what I'm doing is, since this is a pluggable database in 26 AI, I just need to go up to here. In 26 AI, we have created a role called OCIGG apply. We don't need to run this package procedure. If it is 19C or before that, then you can run this script. But if it's 26 AI, you can just stop here. All right. So copy that. So this is completed on the source database. So let me paste that. So that is configuring the target PDB. That's very quick, right? Okay. So this is also done. Then go to the next one. Create source schema. So what I'm doing is I'm logging into the source pluggable database, right? Sales.tac. Then I'm creating a user called Scott. So you can just copy this whole thing, see what I'm doing. And then at the end, actually, I'm also just listing the data. So the rows are created, and then this. Okay, you can see the data in the source pluggable database. Now target, I'm just going to create an empty schema, right? Just empty schema, and I can see, copy the whole thing in one go and paste it here. So you see there's no data because we did not populate any, we just created the tables, no data was added because we are going to be replicating that. Then delete the old trail files. So here we go, and just to repeat the test, right? I already done that. There are no trail files here. I did that. Then go here. Now I need to create the tran data, all right? For the source schema, for capturing the transactions, I need to enable transaction data. And that's one of the GoldenGate requirements. So I go to this database connections and log into this and say create tran data. Then you say sales dot Scott, right? Just say submit, and you should see the tran data here. Saves dot Scott, right? So I see that that's already, it knows that there are two tables, and it's I'm just taking the defaults here. Then the next thing that I need to do is go to, so here what you do is, now you extract the initial node. So what you do is you go here, go to the extract, and then you say, I want to do a initial. I want to extract for the initial node. So check, make sure that you check this. Then you say ext, that's the notation, IL icon, extract initial node. You can give any description. Go here, just say create. And what you do is you can copy this, that by default it creates the trail files in a directory called E1. So just copy this, go here and say parameters, then just replace this whole thing with okay, so just say apply. So that is done. And then what you do is, now after this, we're going to start the initial load, initial extract. But just before we do that, we need to note down the SCN number on the source database, right? Because from that onwards, any changes that happen after kicking off the initial extract, we need to capture that as change data. So I go to my Bastion, I run that. So this is the current SCN, and just load it here. And save it. Then you start the run. Just start. All right. So now it's going to do the actual initial extraction, right? It's going to dump all the data in the source schema, right? In our case, there are only two tables, department and employee. So it's going to run. It's going to stop within a few minutes, seconds. It's going to extract and dump the data. So if you want to see the report, you can just go here. You can see it has extracted 4 records from department table and 14 records from the employee table. So that's the trail files are there. If you want to see the trail files here, see the trail files are here. And now what you do is go to this create checkpoint table, because before you apply on the target, you need to create a checkpoint table. So again, go to the DB connections, log into the target, and then you say, I want to create a checkpoint table on the target. So that is going to be crm.scott schema. No, sorry. The checkpoint table is maintained by ggadmin. ggadmin dot, I just call it checkpoint table. You can give any name, so you can look at the screenshot also. So that's what I do, and just say add, submit. So you see that it created the checkpoint table now. Then go to the next one, then configure and run replicate for the initial load. So what you do is go here, this is the replicate, and say, I want to just say replicate. So you can say replicate, or you just take the defaults here, initial load for the initial load. Okay. Then go here. Now you remember the trail file is named E1. The name is E1. That is the default it used. So I'm going to be using the same thing. And so the domain is this GoldenGate, and this is the replicate. So this is CRM, and the checkpoint table is populated here. That's it. So next, you say just next, and you just say create. Don't say create and run, just say create. And after that, we are going to be see the parameters here. So what you do is just copy these parameters and edit this. Just so it puts replicate and it puts the other parameters here, and it says doing basically the mapping of sales.scott all the tables to crm.scott all the tables. So one-to-one mapping essentially. All right, and that's pretty much it. So what you do is apply, right? And then what you do is actually not, we are going to run it actually. So we are going to run it. All right. So now while that is running, we can see the report that is generated because now it is actually loading in the target. Now we need to do a validation. So let's see the validation whether the data is loaded into the target schema. So copy this, then just check if it is replicated here in the target. It takes a couple of minutes to, it's not yet. So it is not yet happened, but it will happen. So, but while that is going on, let's go to replicates. Actually, what are we going to do? Next thing is we are going to configure the extract for the change data capture. All right. So we are going to create another extract for the change data capture. So we say integrated extract. I will just call it ext cdc change data capture. So change data capture. And next. Now this one is GoldenGate and again source database. Then what is the source PDB? It's sales. And what is the trail file name? We are going to give a different file name here, E2. All right. And we can just provide the CSN number, commit sequence number. So which we, in Oracle, we call it change SCN, right? So copy this and put it here. Just paste it here. Same. So from that point onwards, whatever changes we make, it's going to be replicated. And now, say next, and say next, and then you just only create. Don't do any create and run. And while that's going on, these parameters, that's right. So we are going to copy this. Okay. And yeah, parameters. So these are the parameter file, right? So we need to edit this, just replace with this one. So I mean, it generated a correct parameter file, but it forgot to add this. It didn't add this entry, the source pluggable database name. So we say apply. So that is the change data capture is ready. But let's see if it propagated the initial load, right? So let's run this. See now whatever was the data in the source table, source tables, it basically replicated. So it doesn't change. Now we are going to run the change data capture, and then we are going to make the changes to the source data. So that's what we'll do. So configure and replicate. So replicate also we will create because the replicate what we created was only for, sorry, here, for the initial load, right? So that is running, it's already completed. We can stop it, want to, but let's stop that actually, because that's all complete. We don't need that service, that process anymore. So let's add another replicate. You can say rep cd, the name, yeah, rep cd. You can give it, it's limited to only 5 characters. So that one. Then you say my trail file is E2, right? And the domain is GoldenGate. Pick the CRM and this and the trail. So whatever is the position in the trail file, we don't need to do any changes here, right? So whatever is the, right? Because this is a new trail file. So from the beginning, we want to apply. So we say next and say next. And then you say create. So it's creating the replicate for CDC, and this is the parameter file. So we need to edit that. See, the only thing is it's missing is this one, source catalog. So we can edit this and just paste it here. All right, now apply. So we got the replicate created. Now we are going to run it, right? Now change the capture one. So start that. It's running. Now let's see, this is running. Make sure that it's running without any errors. Now what we'll do is there are no changes so far, because we did not change the source after the initial load. So what we will do is, see this, update the source table. So connect to the source database. Let's say increase the salary by $1 just for testing. So let's take this, go to the source database and paste, oops, not that. One back here, copy. So what I did is I copied to the source and updated, right? I increased the salary by $1. Now let's check whether that got propagated to the target. Copy this, paste it here. Oops. See, it is still 0, right? It's not updated yet. So it is not yet replicated. First time takes seconds to start. So here we go. Still running, no issues here. Report. Statistics. Okay. Points. All right. Yeah. We got E2 here. Yeah. This one. That changes. Why it is not going through? Parameters. Okay, extracts. Okay. Oh, we did not start this. That one. That's the one. We created that extract. We did not start anything here. That's the reason. Yeah. I forgot to start the extract, but no harm done because we are already capturing the changes. And here, let's see statistics. See that updates here? So it already captured the changes. So now it has to propagate. So here, replicates, see statistics. Okay, it captured that. Now let's go here. Let's see whether it got propagated. Okay. And no errors here. Okay, now you see that it's got propagated now. So because I did not start the extract, that was the problem, right? Now you can see more fun. Now we are going to update the source again. Let's see. And let's see how fast we test this. So again, we updated 14 rows. Now let's see whether that propagated. See, it got propagated very fast. Now give one more raise. Now let's see whether it got propagated. See that? Now it's C3, right? Now give one more raise. CRM, see that? We are now updating it. And now let's check whether it got propagated 4. So you can see the changes are getting propagated. So that it's very, as you can see, it's pretty straightforward to install GoldenGate service, configure it. My suggestion is try to understand how these scripts are generated. And if you want to play with your own environment, basically you need to update these yellow colored fields and all the things that are generated, for you. You can just copy and paste. So that will save a lot of your time. All right. So that completes my demo. And I will provide a link to additional sources. So if you want to play with GoldenGate service, there are a lot of live labs. So you can click on this and go there. GoldenGate. If you want to learn more about GoldenGate, this is the home page for that. Oracle database, you want to learn, this is the home page for that. And this demo is running on Exadata, the source and the target. You can here. One thing I forgot to mention here is, see, this database, right? This is the source, this is the target, and this GoldenGate instance or the deployment is both doing extract and replicate. It is doing both. But if this target database is totally in a different location, hundreds of miles away, you won't be using this. What you would do is you would have a replicate. You will have a GoldenGate instance somewhere here, closer to the target. If it is Oracle to Oracle, you can have just one deployment. But if it is Oracle to non-Oracle, then you will have one GoldenGate deployment for extract and one GoldenGate deployment for replicate. So that's something that you need to keep in mind. For example, I've seen customers using GoldenGate for replicating to Snowflake. So in which case, at Oracle side, you will have one deployment. On the target side, you will have another deployment replicating to Snowflake. So in that case, what you do is you redirect, you move your trail files to the other GoldenGate service. So so there you configure a distribution of the replicate trail files to the second deployment. So that becomes the target for the trail files. So the second instance of the GoldenGate is going to receive the trail files, and from there it's going to apply to the target. So just keep that in mind. Just to make it simple, Oracle to Oracle, I just used only one. If this deployment, if it is Oracle to Oracle, the GoldenGate deployment should be closer to the target database because it's going to be chatty, right? The application of the changes is going to be chatty. So the chatty client, as a best practice, should be closer to the target database, right? So just keep that in mind. So with that, I stop my video recording. If you have any questions, let me know. But you have a good rest of the day, and thank you.